You guys seem to be really enjoying my fall videos, so I decided to share with all of you my favorite fall recipes. We have an entree, dessert, and hot drinks to keep you warm and toasty during this cold season. They aren't the healthiest, I have to be honest with you guys, but they aren't horrible either. They're very simple to do and very, very delicious. Don't forget to read the description box because I will be writing everything with detail down below. I just didn't want to make this video super long. So the first thing that I wanted to share with you guys was my hot apple cider. So we have an apple tree and we get about 70 apples per season, and at the end of that our apples start going bad because we can only do so much with eating apples, or we can only eat apples so fast, right? So I'm going to be sharing my apple cider recipe. It's super simple. I'm going to be using some cinnamon, maple syrup, cloves, and of course my apples. These apples are in very rough condition because, like I said, we cannot eat 70 apples in 2 weeks, right? Like, that's a crazy amount of apples. So the ones that are starting to go bad, we usually turn them into apple cider, and the apple cider is just so yummy. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and cut them all, and I'm gonna cut the bad parts of these. Of course, I'm gonna wash them too. And this apple I actually got at the grocery store, and it was actually going bad too, so I forgot I had it there. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and add it in our apple cider. So here I already cut everything. I wanted to save us some time, and you guys know how to chop off things, right? So I just went ahead, like I said, and chop off the bad parts of it, and now we have them here in my crock pot. I'm filling my crock pot with water. I'm just going to be filling it about 3/4 of the way. Then I'm going to be grabbing a bunch of clove, and I'm going to put it randomly, I'm sorry, I can't talk today, in my crock pot. And then my 4 pieces of cinnamon, I have already break them in halves, and I'm going to place them in my crock pot. I'm gonna go ahead and use my maple syrup to sweeten this up, and I'm going to be using about 1/4 of cup. I like it sweet, but not like overly sweet, so 1/4 cup for all of this measurement is perfect. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put it in low, and I'm going to simmer mine from 6 to 10 hours. This time I did 6 hours. So this is how it looks like after. And I also let it cool off, so it was going to be easier for me to transfer from my crock pot to a regular pitcher. So you don't want to do that while it's all hot, right? So now it's ready, and now you can go ahead and pour it in your coffee mug or in your mug, and then put it in the microwave, and you have your delicious hot apple cider. The next one is my favorite one. I can't get enough of this one. It's the butternut squash creamy soup. It is so easy to do and so healthy. I love it. You guys are going to be using butter or your butter substitution. You're going to be using this small butternut squash from our garden, carrots, and about 1/4 of onion. We love onion, but you guys can remove this if you guys don't like it. I'm going to boil all of our ingredients, or all of our vegetables. I did not peel my butternut squash just because it's really hard to do when it's not cooked. So I'm just gonna cook it first, and then I'm going to remove the skin later. Fork goes through the butternut squash and the carrots easily. That means that it's ready to be blended. So here in my blender, I added 3 tablespoons of butter, all of my butternut squash, my carrots, and my onions. And this is the step where you can put your salt and your pepper if you want to. And then we're gonna grab evaporated milk, and I'm going to add about 1 cup. After that, we're gonna be using 1/2 cup of the water that we boiled all of the veggies in. and we're gonna add it in our blender and we're going to blend away. This soup has to be very creamy, so it doesn't have to have any chunks on it. So feel free to leave it in the blender for, you know, a good 3 minutes or so. And this is how it looks like. I love to pair my soup with a giant salad. We have chicken, carrots, cheese, an egg, and cherry tomatoes in my salad, and also my delicious creamy soup. And it is so yummy. It's amazing to keep you nice and warm, and even my 2-year-old loves it. The next recipe is my pumpkin spice cheesecake. I like to make mine, FYI, kind of fluffy, but you guys can always mix by hand. So first we're gonna preheat our oven to 350. That way when we're ready to put our cheesecake is ready and we don't have to wait a really long time. So for our ingredients, we're gonna be using a can of pumpkin. We're only gonna be using half of that. And then we're gonna be using 2 eggs, 2 blocks, I guess, of cream cheese, a ready crust of graham crackers. We're gonna be using spices, vanilla, sugar, and whipping cream. And for our little spices, we're gonna be using ground cinnamon, pumpkin spice, nutmeg, ginger. Also, you guys can add cloves if you want to. I didn't have any this time, but I usually do add cloves and it's delicious. So I mix all of my spices right here. Then I have my vanilla and I have 1.5 cups of sugar. We're gonna go ahead and start with our cream cheese. So we're gonna add our cream cheese and we're gonna add also our sugar. And before I forget, you guys can always whisk by hand, but I like mine to be fluffy just because I'm afraid my 2-year-old might choke if the cheesecake is too heavy. So I like to basically add some bubbles of air, you know, but if you guys don't like that consistency and you want a more dense cake, you can always whip it with your hand. Then we're gonna be adding our eggs one by one. Then we're gonna be adding half a can of pumpkin puree and 1 cup of whipping cream. You guys can always go ahead and add the whole can. The only problem is if you add the whole can, sometimes it only tastes like pumpkin and it tastes more like pumpkin pie instead of pumpkin cheesecake. So if you guys want to taste the the cheese, you guys might want to add just a half a cup. Then we add our vanilla, our spices, and we put it in our graham crust. And I had this one here, and that's why I'm just putting it here. You guys can always do it homemade, but ain't nobody got time for that. Now you guys want to bake it for about an hour. Always make sure you oven, you know, some ovens are weird, but it's about an hour. And there you guys have it. It is so yummy and it didn't have any cracks, which it was amazing. So now we are going to be working on our pumpkin spice coffee creamer. And let's face it, going to Starbucks gets expensive, and the pumpkin coffee creamers at the grocery store are really disgusting, or at least I thought so. So I like to make my own, and today I'm going to be sharing you guys my recipe. Now I have to be 100% honest with you guys. Usually everybody recommends to use whipping cream for your creamer. I still prefer evaporated milk on mine, and I just didn't like how heavy whipping cream was this time. This was the first time I experiment with whipping cream and I did not like it. So with that already being said, we're gonna be using our whipping cream this time, but like I said, please use evaporated milk instead, because I really like how nice creamy it is without being too heavy like the whipping cream was. So I'm gonna add about 2 cups of whipping cream. Then the rest of the other half of the pumpkin can that I had. I added a ton of cinnamon because I really like cinnamon, then a sprinkle kind of nutmeg and some ginger. And we're gonna go ahead and whisk all of our ingredients. Oh, also don't forget the pumpkin spice, that is very important too. What I love about this recipe is that you guys can always play with all of this and make it your own, which that's what we're going for, right? Like that's why you make your things by yourself, because you can make them however you like it. And I'm going to be adding a splash of maple syrup just to sweeten this, so I don't have to be adding sugar to my coffee. And that is it, you guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, the recipes are extremely easy but very tasty, and yeah, I made this video for all of you guys and I hope you enjoy. Now if you guys are on a roll, I'm going to be leaving all of my fall videos at the end of this video, so you guys can go ahead and click on them and get yourself more ideas for decor, fashion, and all of that. For my next video, I'm going to be doing a fall beauty video, so we're going to be getting ready for those cold months. I'm going to be dyeing my hair, pedicure, manicure, face treatments, body treatments, so don't forget to subscribe so you guys are notified when that video goes live. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and I will talk to you guys later.